Here are the top stories of the news. Nigerians marks Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Gunmen kill 3 persons in the country home of the spokesman of the Coalition of United Political Parties, Ikenga Ugochinyere Imo. On the foreign scene, a plane with 72 people on board has crashed near an airport in central Nepal. Good afternoon and welcome to Spring News at 12 on Western Spring Television. My name is Damilola Raphael. Today is Armed Forces Remembrance Day in Nigeria, an annual event to commemorate the nation's servicemen and fallen heroes. The event, celebrated on January 15 each year, also honors veterans of World War I and II, as well as the Nigerian Civil War. It is a day set aside for sober reflections on the significance of the armed forces to the country. While the Armed Forces Remembrance Day is celebrated on November 11 every year globally, it is known as the Armistice Day, commemorating the end of the First World War. The Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has promised to adequately address Nigeria's security and economic challenges if voted into office. Obi made this vow while addressing a gathering at the party's presidential campaign rally in Akure, Ondo State capital, yesterday. The former Anambra governor, who was accompanied by his running mate Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed and chieftains of the LP, lamented the bad state of the nation's security and economy and vowed to turn the situation around. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has promised to reactivate the Ajaokuta Steel Company in Kogi State. He made the vow during his campaign in Okoja, the Kogi State capital, yesterday, stating that his administration will support the state government to clear all salary arrears owed to civil servants in the state. The former vice president also promised the restoration of other key infrastructure in the state and ensure better welfare for the people. Atiku was accompanied by his running mate, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State, former vice president Namadi Samuel, as well as other party stewards.
Kogilites, let me appeal to you. If you want all these issues to be resolved, PDP is your answer. Now, even look at Kogi State itself. Since the PDP stopped governing Kogi State, no development has taken place in this state. Is it not so? This stadium was built by PDP. Everything in Kogi was built by PDP. And the man who built it is here, Ibro. So, I know they came and deceived you about APC, and you voted for them. You have now seen. You have now seen what APC means. It means poverty, unemployment, insecurity, lack of development. Every negative indices in human development has been brought about in this country by APC. We will not vote for APC again. Are you going to vote for APC? So, the people of Kogi State, we appeal to you. We are here not to deceive you. We are men of integrity, men and
3 persons have been reportedly killed in an attack on the country home of the spokesman of the Coalition of United Political Parties, Ikenga Ugochinyere Imo, in Umukego community, Akokwa, Ideato North local government area of Imo State. It was gathered that the gunman stormed Ugochinyere Imo's house where he was having a meeting with some of his supporters and started shooting sporadically as people scampered for safety. In the process, 3 persons, including the CUPP spokesman's uncle, simply known as Dan, were killed. Some vehicles and campaign materials within the premises were also set ablaze. The spokesman of the Imo State Police Command, Mike Abatam, confirmed the incident to newsmen, but said the force doesn't have official details and the report of the incident yet. He added that a proper briefing from the divisional police officer in the area is expected. Ugochinyere Imo is also known as the People's Democratic Party House of Representatives candidate for Ideato North and South Federal Constituency for the 2023 elections. Troops of 25 brigades of Operation Hadinkai have repelled an attack by the Islamic State West Africa Province, ISWAP, in Azir, Borno State. Azir is a village on the outskirts of Damboa town, Damboa LGA of the state. According to a situation report seen today, the ISWAP fighters were said to have attacked a military camp with 3 mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles and 4 gun trucks yesterday. During the battle, which was supported by our component, several insurgents were killed, while 3 soldiers were severely wounded and are currently receiving treatment. The military said a Phantom MRAP, a Buffalo gun truck, 2 PKGM and 1 RPG bomb, among other arms and ammunition, were recovered from the insurgents. Here in Osun State, a 51-year-old woman, Mrs. Oluwatoyin Bemisola Ojo, has been kidnapped by some unknown gunmen in Osogbo, the state capital. Confirming the incident in Osogbo today, the Amotekun field commander, Comrade Amitolu Shito, said the corps had begun searching for the kidnapped victim. According to Comrade Shito, Mrs. Ojo was kidnapped at her residence located around Technical College area, Osogbo, around 10:30 p.m. on Friday, January 13, 2023, by unknown gunmen. He further explained that he received a distress call at around 1:15 a.m. midnight on Saturday from the victim's husband, Mr. Ojo Oluwasomi Festus, a staff of NNPC Warri Depot, on the disappearance of his wife, saying Amotekun operatives went into action immediately in search of the victim. He assured inhabitants of the state that the kidnapped victim will be rescued and the criminals that perpetrated the act will be apprehended and brought to book. Bandits have killed a Reverend Father in an attack on Kafinkoro community in Paikoro local government area of Niger State in early this morning. It was gathered that the bandits invaded the community at about 1 a.m. and began shooting sporadically while heading to the uphill residence of Reverend Father Isaac Archie of St. Peter and Paul Catholic Church. According to a resident of the community who identified himself as Paul, the bandits divided themselves in 2. While some went to the Catholic priest official residence, the others stayed in town shooting to wait away any form of interference. Paul stated that when the bandits couldn't access the late Archie's residence after a long while, they set the building ablaze and waited until it burnt to ashes with him in it. The divisional police officer was said to have been reached but couldn't get to Archie until he died. As of press time, the state government or the state police command has confirmed the incident. Governor Bello Matawale says the Zamfara state government has identified no fewer than 199 ghost doctors who were in the state payroll but are yet to be found. Governor Matawale made this known while speaking to journalists in Maradun town, the headquarters of Maradun local government area of the state. According to the governor, though the state government was paying salaries to 280 doctors every month, it's discovered only 81 doctors are active in the entire state. He further disclosed that he already met with the state chapter of the Nigerian Labour Congress on how to trace those 199 ghost doctors who spent long periods of time collecting salaries illegally with a view to block those behind the manipulation. Governor Matawale explained that the discovery of the ghost doctors was as a result of the ongoing biomedical data capture of the entire state workforce through the Office of the State Head of Service. Ondo Assembly has filed a stay of execution against an High Court's judgment which sacked its Deputy Speaker Samuel Aderoboye and reinstated Iroju Ogundeji. It said it has also filed an appeal against the judgment. Spokesman of the Ondo Assembly, Olugbenga Omole, in a statement said the stay of execution order was filed after consultations with lawyers. Mr. Omole stated that the Ondo Assembly would continue to conduct its business in line with global practices based on the rule of law, strict adherence to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and House rules and procedures. You're watching Spring News at 12 on Western Spring Television. We'll be right back after this break.
According to the words of Michael Forbes, one who never asks questions either knows everything and nothing. Watch me as I ask the questions you think no one wants to answer. Even questions it appears no one has got the guts to.
Sports is a culture on its own. It has its own language, its own people, with their own way of life. The world of sports is never void of actions, stories, dramas, and scandals. I guess you need a sports show that can walk the walk and talk the talk.
On this show, we answer all your sporting questions. The whens, the whys, the wheres, and even the what ifs. Sports Spring is that show that will give you that new lease of life you've been looking for in sports journalism. Join me, Joseph Atewe,
and your sports Amazon, Nengi Ernest.
On this station, Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
Let's talk sports. Let's speak the most universal language of the world.
Turn it up! It's the Wild Wild West, and Western Spring Television is pulling out all the stops to make sure that you don't miss out on every of the fun and happenings around you. Yup, we've got you covered because your girls got all the juiciest tidbits and entertainment news from around the world. Cross over to the chocolatey side of entertainment. Join me, Chocolate Cassie, on Eccentric as we take you into every bit of the juiciest news, fashion, music, movie updates, and other trending conversations. Together on the show, we'll get personal with your favorite celebrities via phone call, Zoom, or even live here in the studio. Eccentric will be showing on your TV screen on Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
You're welcome back. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, has confirmed the deaths of 10 persons and 2 injured in a crash. According to Ms. Ope, the suspected causes of the accidents were road obstruction on the part of a truck and excessive speed of a Toyota bus whose driver lost control and ran into the truck at the rear. The FRSC image maker says the injured victims were taken to Victory Hospital, Ogiri, for medical attention, while the corpses were deposited at Ikwara Morgue. On the foreign scene, a plane with 72 people on board has crashed near an airport in central Nepal and 40 bodies have been recovered. The Yeti Airlines flight from Kathmandu to the tourist town of Pokhara crashed on landing, catching fire. Video posted on social media shows an aircraft flying low over a populated area before spinning sharply. There were 68 passengers on board, including at least 15 foreign nationals and 4 crew members. Some 200 Nepalese soldiers are involved in the rescue at the crash site in the gorge of the Seta River, just 1.5 kilometers from the airport. Video of the crash site shows thick, billowing black smoke and burning debris. Russia launched fresh waves of missile attacks across Ukraine yesterday, killing at least 14 people in a strike on an apartment block in the eastern city of Dnipro. A number of other cities, including Kiev, Kharkiv, and Odessa, were also hit. Much of Ukraine is now under an emergency blackout after missiles hit power infrastructure in several cities. Earlier, the UK said it would send Challenger 2 tanks to Ukraine to help the country's defense. UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said the Challengers, the British Army's main battle tank, would help Kiev's forces push Russian troops back. That providing more weapons to Ukraine would lead to intensified Russian operations and more civilian casualties. In the Middle East, more than 80,000 Israeli Benjamin Netanyahu's proposed changes as an attack on democratic rule. It follows the installment of the most religious and hardline government in Israeli history. Local media reported that rallies were also held outside the Prime Minister's residence in Jerusalem and in the northern city of Haifa. Welcome to sports. Former Flying Eagles swinger Yira Sow scored the winning goal as Genk defeated Zolt Waregem 1-0 in their Belgian Pro League clash. Sow netted the winning goal in the 10th minute of the encounter. The 22-year-old recently linked up with the Limburgers from Czech side, Slavia Prague. He's medical in London today and is expected to be at Stamford Bridge to watch Chelsea play Crystal Palace. Chelsea are confident of securing the transfer and have offered the 22-year-old a 7.5-year contract. Arsenal remained in talks as recently as Friday, but were prepared to walk away from the transfer if the deal was not right. And before we end the news, here is a recap of our top stories. Today is Armed Forces Remembrance Day in Nigeria, an annual event to commemorate the nation's servicemen and fallen heroes. 3 persons have been reportedly killed in an attack on the country home of the spokesman of the Coalition of United Political Parties, Ikenga Ugochinyere Imo, in Umukego Community, Akokoa, Idiato North Local Government Area of Imo State. Our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Western Spring Television. You can also watch us live on our YouTube channel at Western Spring Television. That ends Spring News at 12 on Western Spring Television. I am Damilola Raphael. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.
Arrested.